Tapping, tap into your purpose. Tapping, tapping. They act as if we see, no hear, no speak, no evil. They act as if we see, no hear, no speak, no evil. We tapping into purpose. Our purpose. Our purpose. We tapping into purpose. Our purpose. Our purpose.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Zay,
And it's your boy Rashad.
and this is the Wrong Purpose Podcast.
That's right. And we are back with a part 2, right?
Yeah,
Start a great conversation, right?
great. I mean, we just ran out of time, right? So
That's all.
we're like, we're gonna we're gonna dive back into it. So again, do us a favor, hit the subscribe button. All that stuff's down there. You already know, guys. We're sitting here chilling with the 6 Foot Cook, right? Amazing conversation. He's a dope chef. Just been doing it for a long time. So we're just gonna pick up where we left off. We were talking about bartering, but there's something that you had said before that about like how they've gotten us so focused on the materialistic, right? I'm gonna get in trouble for this, but I don't care. We look at the dating scene, right? Because like when you said that, I immediately thought about if you listen to how the dating scene, this whole like dudes don't want to take these girls out on dates, right? Because they're expecting sex at the end of it, right? And then the girls don't want to go on just basic dates, and they find a man, he has to have this budget because they're trying to live this materialistic lifestyle, right? To where now we've ruined family, we've ruined like our purpose in the earth wasn't necessarily to be rich. Right? Our purpose was to be fruitful and multiply and have dominion over the earth. Right? Because people don't even think about that money can dominate you.
Can't serve God and mammon at the same time.
Can't be.
Yeah.
Can't. So it's like, when people, I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. Like hearing, like imagine if your wife was like, I won't mess with you because you don't make this amount of money. Right? And what she would miss out on.
Well, funny thing is, like, literally, when I met my wife, I didn't want to talk to her. Because as a man, I didn't feel like, I had just moved down here. I wasn't quite established. I didn't have all my ducks in a row yet. So I really wasn't trying to be out there because I wanted to make sure that, I'm bringing something to the table. But the problem that's out there, man, I mean, I thank God I'm not out there now. But the problem
should be very
facts, right? But like the problem I see, like the family structure's been depleted. You understand? That's even from my era and before, and it's just gotten worse over time. So what you're seeing now is that spoiled kid grown up. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
really, FNF. All this stuff out there, the mindset is terrible, right? And it's the thought of things without understanding what those things bring. And let me explain that, right? So what am I saying? They want this, for lack of a better word, they want a high value man.
Yeah.
But they don't want the responsibilities that come with that, right? Or nor can they offer this high value man anything.
Yeah.
As well as realistically, it's the old tale. The guys are still doing what guys do. The guys are out there chasing tail.
Yep.
I don't know no other way to say it. I'm sorry. Country, I'm gonna just be blunt. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. They're telling them whatever they want to hear. It's the same thing we always done as men, guys. Growing up from school age to whatever age. But the same thing I told my daughters. The guy's gonna tell you this. He's gonna tell you he loves you. He's gonna tell you you're pretty. He's going to give you all of the accolades you want. Because at the end of the day, all he wants is what's in your pants, and once you get it, he's gone.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So realistically, what happens is a whole lot of, it's funny I seen somebody else say there's a whole lot of prostitution going on, for real.
Nah, for real.
You know what I'm saying? That's really what's happening.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, well, I know you're just saying all this to get this, so to get this, you're going to have to spend this.
Yeah.
And that's really what's going on. So it's a lot of prostitution, tricking, whatever you want to call it, out there. And it's horrible. So now I think about me raising a son, and he's going to eventually have to go out here in this scene.
Yep.
And you know, it's like I don't even know, you know, in however many years, once he gets out there, what it's going to look like. And I just continue to pray for him. But you know, realistically, man, like I think as a man or a woman, I put it this way: you can alleviate all the crap
Mm-hmm.
by how you carry yourself
Yep.
in the first place.
Yep.
Yeah,
You
that's where it
understand what I'm
starts.
saying? These are the things that are not being taught, but also our kids do not have the confidence to abstain from these things because you got to remember it was a certain point in time in life. You know, you did have people being virgins and getting married.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You couldn't get a husband if you weren't a virgin.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You had to be a certain stature
Mm-hmm.
to even go after a wife because the father had to approve.
Yep.
Right.
You had to pay the father.
They had that
Yep.
security.
A diary,
Yep.
like, okay, I'm showing you I can take care of your daughter.
Yeah.
You know, but with the amount of fatherless homes that we have out there,
Coverage
Yeah.
the
gone.
amount of men, young boys, excuse me, the amount of boys that are in grown men's body,
Yep.
right? You know, and I was one of them. You know what I'm saying? With no education on how to be a man, no education on how to raise a family, no understanding or life experience of what to do in the role that I'm being asked to do.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What you mean? I'm supposed to be responsible and have all this wisdom, and I ain't had nobody teach me this, but I'm out here now,
Yeah.
and here I am assuming the role,
Yeah.
but I don't have no real understanding of what real leadership is, so I'm not effectively leading you anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a grown boy with a deep voice.
Yeah.
You know, and so we got a lot of that out there right now that is needs to be addressed. So I say all that to say, us as men that are here now that see the problem, you know, it's time to stand up, speak up,
Yep.
stop being afraid of these people out here,
Yep.
stop being afraid of cancel culture.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can't cancel me.
Yep.
If my voice is meant to be heard, my voice is going to be heard. I don't care how much you bash me. You know, it is what it is, right? And the truth of the matter is, it's time for the men of
Yes.
the world to actually step back into their rightful place,
100%.
stand up,
100%.
and make life what it's supposed to be. But when you have society
Yep.
the way that it is, when you've weakened the man,
Yep.
you understand? Yeah, okay, yeah, he's grown now. He can look for, you know, oh, you can't blame your childhood. Yes, you can. And no, does that mean you stay on that?
Nope.
No. But if you don't even know the right questions to begin with and you think your normal is right,
Yeah.
you don't see a problem with it. So now you got people who don't think they have a problem out here running around. So you pretty much have the blind leading in the blind.
Yeah.
So we wonder why everybody's in the ditch.
That's real. I mean, and you're right about like what we're seeing are the spoiled kids as adults today.
Right.
Like, how dare you be like? I mean, I was talking to someone last year, and they had the nerve to say like all the boys my age are broke. Like they're supposed to be. They're 20. They're 19, 20. They're supposed to be. They don't know what to do with a whole bunch of money when they get it. Like you just don't know. That's why the average millionaire doesn't become a millionaire until they're about 55 to 65.
Right.
That's the range. Why? You at that point you got responsibility. You've blown enough money. And you're sitting there thinking about the money that you're blowing. It's like, man, if I had that now, and you're thinking about how am I going to sustain my life, right,
Yeah.
from the
It's
years
the
that
false
I've worked.
reality, though. I mean,
Yep.
at the end of the day, it's the false reality, right? So you got all these people, and see, so you have, you know, and man, especially in the music industry, you have this false reality. You're giving these people this money, and what people don't even understand, these people don't even have that money.
Right.
The money they
It's
claim
not
they're
their
blowing,
money.
or the money that they're blowing,
Right.
is their budget money.
Yep.
That they're choosing to blow on something else, and you wonder why their album sales or whatever is not where it needs to be, and you don't see them, and everybody's just one-hit wonders.
Yep.
Well, they didn't get to pay that money back
Yeah.
because they blew it on whatever. So now they're stuck trying to do shows, recouping this money that they owe these companies. That's a whole nother story. But the problem is people see that and perceive it to be reality and think everybody's supposed to be that. So that's what I mean. They dress like, they want to dress like this person. They want to, you know what I'm saying? If you don't have this watch, you don't have these shoes, you don't have, man, come on, bro. Like, you know, I watched the thing and it was a lady demanding she gets this certain type of wedding. I think everybody's probably seen this viral or whatever, but and the dude was like, nah, we taking this money and investing. She called the dude broke. He was like, I'm telling you I'm investing in it. So, you know what I'm saying? How can you call him broke? You see what I'm saying? So the entitlement is what's really, really killing people out there these days, man, because it's not like that. I remember talking to my daughter, my youngest, and you know, we just had a conversation on, you know, she's 21 now. She's out there on her own. And we started having a conversation about what is life like. Do you feel like we prepared you enough? What can you see that we were trying to teach you now that you didn't see? She was like, yeah, I wish I would have waited. It won't like, you know, it won't like what I thought, what you were saying, you know. I understand what you were saying now. Life is a little tougher than what I thought it was. Yep. And I was like, yeah. This is what, you know, trying to get through you guys, but y'all was so gung-ho, ready to go live with friends and, you know, understand that people ain't who they say they are in the end, and people change, and life is real. Bills come every 30 days, 28 days, you know, every 25 days, really, because you got about a week to pay it. By the time they send you the piece of mail, you know, so, you know, yeah, man, but just trying to keep up with all that. And I think, I mean, it's a phase the world goes through, but I think it's just on such a heightened level because of social media. And you don't know what's real and what's fake out here anymore.
I agree. That's like, I don't know if you saw the text thread of this girl wanting.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
So this girl wanted to go to the Beyonce concert, right? And she was like, text her fiance. She's like, hey, I want to go to this Beyonce concert. He's like, yo, we said we're trying to buy this house. We said no entertainment. And she was like, I forgot the response was to it. He was like, no, right? We said you wanted the ring. Did that to make you happy. You wanted a house, so we're saving for the house. Right. No. She's like, so is the answer no? He's like, yes, the answer is no. She was like, well, I put in X amount of dollars. Can I get that back out?
Wow.
And it wasn't even, like, what she put in isn't even enough to pay for the tickets.
Right.
And he was like, wow, you really want your... She was like, yeah, give me my money. He said, cool, we're done. I don't need this no more in my life. Right. And she's like, you're really breaking up? But then reading the comments, right? And seeing like a lot, it's like, oh, that's not the right reason to break up with him. I was like, yeah, that's because you're dumb. And you're not a man. Right. And you're not understanding that what he saw was, bruh, she's going to cost me. She's going to cost me a business deal. She's going to cost me a business opportunity. She's going to cost me something major because she wants to go see a person perform when we're making an investment.
Right. Well, not only that, what he also saw was that you're willing to break whatever contract we have based upon how you're feeling at the moment.
Emotionally, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you may ruin everything we have going on, and then to go and ask for whatever X amount of dollars that it was. You see what I'm saying? Now I can't trust you because if you could have just go take it out, and I'm counting on this, and it may not be there because guess what? She came back in town again, and you really wanted to go. So one, you have no loyalty to the commitment, right? You can't stick to a plan and see things through. Right. So you can't go through process. You know what I'm saying? And you know if you can't go through a process, you're gonna spend your whole life going through the process. Right? And then what you also see is your lack of loyalty, not only in trust, but to this relationship. Because if we say we're setting goals to build a future, our future just crumbles because you want to go see somebody sing. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I don't need that in my life.
I'm sure he realized because they were engaged at that time. Like, I can't build nothing with her. I mean, like, if this knocks her off of what we've built, stuff we've built to a point, and she's willing to give up, because he said they was like months away from the goal.
Yeah, they've been doing it for 10 months.
Yeah, and then
but you saw how little she put in. It was like, yo, That ain't nothing that you put in. So I'm like, he's sitting there thinking like, yo, I'm making the majority of this investment, right? If like typically for a down payment for a house, you probably baseline is probably like 10K, right? So you're trying to stack. So if he's putting down a G a month in savings, hers doesn't even touch 100.
Right. Well, that's crazy. So I mean, also you gotta also understand, right, the difference. That shows you. All right. So what we were talking about earlier, that shows you the difference between the entrepreneurial mindset and the employee mindset. Right. So when you break that down, most entrepreneurs are visionaries. They see the future. Employees are right now minded.
Yep, survival.
I got this bill to pay by Friday. I need to get X amount of tips, or I need to work X amount of shifts. So when I get paid, I got X amount of dollars. You're not looking long term. You see what I'm saying? And you'll never get anywhere looking down. You know what I'm saying? That's why if you want to be something, be an eagle, not an ostrich.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Fly high, look, see your future.
Yeah.
Don't stick your head in the sand and just keep going. You know, too many people say, they put their nose down, as they say, grinding, right? But eventually you're gonna grind yourself away. And you never see where you're going. Pick your head up, look and see your vision.
Yeah. And the last point I'll make on that, even it showed that you're not willing to follow his leadership.
Yeah, it's definitely that.
Right, because it's like if you can't trust, like, hey, this is the right decision, and then, I guess the second point of it is, you didn't come up with a plan to. You could have said, hey, babe, I really want to go. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go do Uber Eats, or let's do something to where we can make that happen for. Because it wouldn't even like for both of you.
Like, why do I need to do that? We already saved it. So you're asking me to do double work for your entertainment. You know what I'm saying? So we got to stick to a script, and I get it. Everybody falls off the path sometimes here and there, right? And so I'm not judging that, but at the end of the day, you talked about his leadership. That's somebody who is showing he stands for something.
Yep.
Right. If you're gonna be with me, this is what it is, and people have to stop being afraid to be that way. Yep. No, he's not being, this male, whatever. No, he's being a man, he's being a leader, and he's saying this is where we go. Stop asking him to bend his back.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? To fill your needs at the time.
Especially to pay to go see somebody that has a house already.
Right.
That has multiple houses. Right. I mean, everything you're trying to work towards, they have already, and some. Right. That same house that you're asking, they could probably get that given to them, just so the company can say, "Hey, we gave Beyonce this," right? So, and I mean, I thought that was so crazy, and like you said, when you touched on it, talking about the whole materialistic piece, but we really wanted to dive into the whole bartering system, right? I think that's what we're getting, we're kind of shifting back into is. And honestly, bringing community together. I think COVID really exposed how isolated we are.
Right.
And we can look at it in this generations of kids, how they weren't raised in community like we were.
Sure.
Right? My neighbors could spank me. My neighbors could get in my case. My neighbors could, whatever authority that my parents had, those same neighbors, especially more specifically the ones my parents trusted and gave them the authority to have authority over us, forced us to understand and appreciate authority to where we're not having too many issues with authority, right? But that community aspect is no longer there. Like, I remember going down the street being like, yo, can we borrow some sugar? And getting a cup to get some sugar.
But people don't live in the neighborhoods that long anymore to even build a community. In the transient society we live in, it's rare to find somebody that's been in the neighborhood 10, 15 years. Unless you, you still have that in the hood, in the projects.
Yeah.
The people that choosing not to go anywhere, you still got that type of community. But just, outside of that?
I'll say depends on the money level you get to, right? Because, I went to see one of my homies to do some filming, and they've been in their house, I think, 10 years. Okay. And, everybody around them have been in. Now the kids are starting to get older, so it's they'll probably go from that size house to now downsizing because empty nesters. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's like the type of community, like these kind of upscale communities. I think those people go and they buy their houses, especially if they got them, let's say, in 2010, 2011. Because now the mugs are double the worth that they were back then, especially in this area. Right. So I think it's almost, it's the two spectrums. Sure. Right? The people that ain't got no money, they're still there. People that got money, and it's like the people that are in process have left this neighborhood to go here to be in this better place, or they go here to be in a different place, or
they don't really have enough because like rent goes up every year, so then they gotta go move somewhere else and find somewhere that fits their budget. So I mean,
that too.
It kind of creates that vortex of people just being jumping around. That's really what's going on.
Yeah.
But then as well. A lot of times, people could be in the same neighborhood for that long, but they don't even speak to each other.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody stays to themselves, you know what I'm saying? Because you might be that weirdo. Hey, but you know what I'm saying? That's it. Yeah. I know when you're home, I know when you're there, so it's not that real connection and bond isn't there. People don't talk the same. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, put it this way. When I was coming up, I remember living with my grandparents. You would just hear they had a gravel driveway. And you hear, and you just look out the window. Oh, such pulling up. Nobody called first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How many people's house can you go to first without calling? You know what I'm saying? How many people can you just pop up on? You see what I'm saying? That's when you start talking about.
That's true.
Real community, real family. That's how things work. And now I get it because people are moving a lot more, doing a lot more things. You want to try to call and make sure. Yeah. But just if you was in the neighborhood. Yeah. Would you feel comfortable riding up to Rashad's house and just pull up and ding dong?
It's funny. Rashad knows me. I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know him like that.
I am.
Well, never mind. That's the point.
Like, I'm one of those because, again, it just goes back to just how we were raised. Right? Like, my wife would be like, hey, you want to call him? I'm like, no, I'll just show up. And if they're busy, cool. I didn't call you first. I'm just coming to say, honestly, I just want to see your face. Like, one of my sisters just had a baby. Haven't seen the baby. Haven't seen her in a minute. And I think it was before the baby was born. I haven't seen her, and I haven't seen her pregnant ever. Known them for like 20, almost 30 years. Never seen her pregnant. So I was like, we're driving right by. And she didn't come down. I was like, it's understandable. She's pregnant. But her husband came to the door. And we were able to shake hands, say what's up, get to see each other, right? And be like, hey, I just wanted to come by and check. Because sometimes you never know, like, that's the very thing that they may have needed in that moment. Like, somebody cares enough to drop by. Right. Like, I'm very, very personal. Like, I mean, I've my in-laws are the only ones that I probably wouldn't do that to. And it's just, that's just how they are. But, like, any other person, if I'm in the area, I'll go knock on the door. I remember, like, doing Uber. So I'm like random places in the city. I was like, oh man, I know my man lives down here. Let me just go knock on the door real quick. Yeah. Hey, what's up, man? Just came to say hi. Right. Say I gotta get back to work, but just I'm good for that. Right. Even if they I'll be like, hey, I'm sorry for popping by, but hey, you're on my mind. I didn't think I'm sorry, I'm not picking up the phone if I'm like 2 minutes from your house. Right. But because we still need that. Like it's still necessary, but like you're right, most people don't pop up at people's houses. And it's like, then, like you said, people are moving all the time. And so it's like, you got to call to make sure that they are actually home.
Yeah. And think about the amount of people, that left home. Yeah. That are no longer living in the same city, state. You know what I'm saying? Just through travel. Yeah. And so your community kind of spreads out at that point, right? Yeah. I mean, it's funny, I was just in this conversation and when you think about, we talk about the trade and barter system and how things were in the olden day, families were known for something. Yep. You had your blacksmiths, you had your farmers, you had, I got the eggs, you got the milk, you got the clothes. Mm-hmm. And we taught our offspring how to run their business. Yep. So our mindset was entrepreneurial. Yep. And we did for ourselves. Yep. Right? Then you got, industrialization and capitalism has now take over.
Yeah.
And this mass producing stuff, it's almost like the question I asked: what is the real taste of water?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so when you break all of that down, you know, Farmer Joe would talk to, you know, clothes maker Sarah, and like, look, I can give you 5 eggs for 3 shirts.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good deal. And they never swap money.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, their livelihood didn't depend on necessarily. Like money. I mean, I remember with my grandparents, my grandfather had a hog farm, but I remember I used to go with him to pick sweet potatoes. And it was a relationship he had with that farmer from when he was farming. And every year at the end of the season, we got to go, whatever was left in the field before the deer and all that got it.
Yeah.
He told my grandfather, you can have whatever. We used to go every year, load up his truck full of sweet potatoes. Take them home, wash them. You know, grandma would make stuff and do different stuff, freeze, all of that.
Yeah.
But imagine if we all work together like that, how much more we can actually get accomplished. Versus, I'm trying to charge you because I got to come up. I got to make this money. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're trying to make money. We get it. But if you're trying to accomplish this goal of building a brand or getting exposure or whatever, well, I got the skills that can help you. What do you have to benefit me?
Yep.
And we can just get this job done.
Yep.
How can you help me accomplish a goal and I'll help you accomplish a goal? We're working together at that point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's real community.
Yep.
But we're so stuck on we got to charge each other.
People just want the transaction, want the relationship. And that's what the bartering system actually did. You had to develop a relationship, and you had a relationship at the end of the day, even though you still got the service, because you got a chance to, like we talked about, rub shoulders with that person face to face, find out about them, and you like that person. You don't call Mr. Bob the mechanic, you know what I'm saying, every time your car going through something, you know what I'm saying, because you know him, he always serving you good, you know, and, you know, he's taking care of people you know. So, and today, I think we won't really go back to that system unless, like, the grid goes down and something catastrophic goes down, and we're forced to, with our proximity of people that are around us, actually ask, okay, hey, what do you got, or what do you do? I don't know, but I got this going on. Maybe we can make something work out.
Yeah.
And that would never happen if the world wasn't so big, as you know, meaning that because of the internet.
Yeah.
But if your world is cut down from communicating with, you know, people from across town or whatever for this service, then you have to actually seek your proximity, who got what.
Yeah.
That's a whole different economy, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like if just imagine if all 3 of us decided we have a particular plant that we're gonna grow. That's one less thing that you have to go to the grocery store to get.
Right.
And then we begin to you get 20 of your friends to do the same exact thing. Now you don't have to go out to go get lettuce because you're growing lettuce, right? I may have the eggs, like you said, and you might have the chickens. And but we know that they don't want that because they need us paying into that, right? They need that so that they can have some level of control over the moves that we make.
Right.
But it's like, you know, like one thing that I like to do whenever I'm entering into business deals is honestly, like, hey, I give some flexibility up front, right? This is what the market's going to charge. I'm not going to take that, but I'll work on something on the back end. Because let's say you come in and I'm charging you like $10K for something, but it doesn't really work out. Well, you miss out. You might try to tarnish my name for not being well with it, but it's like, I got your money. Opposed to, hey, this is what it is up front. And then the back end, I need this because I need to be able to have some skin in the game that holds us both accountable. Because if you don't do your part and I don't do my part, there's no growth taking place.
Right.
And I think even if we had that mindset opposed to like, I got to get my money. And it's like, you know, it goes back to can't serve 2 masters. One of my favorite scriptures is Matthew 6:33, seek ye first the kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. So if we really just seek after God, and if we go to him and be like, Lord, provide me my daily bread. What's the thing that I need daily to provide for me and my family? What are those things? Like, not trying to, like, even Proverbs talks about an unjust weight is an abomination to God. Like, God hates it. It's like you're overcharging people for something that really only costs. Like, you think about a pair of J's, right?
Right.
They're like probably at almost $400 now, or $250 or whatever, right? But it only cost them like $5 to make them. There's no reason why you should be charging that much for that.
Gross.
But it's like, but they gotta keep making themselves rich while taking advantage, and then also like some of that's our fault too. We'll go and swipe the card.
We'll go stand in line all night.
We keep the machine going.
Right. Like, you see people be like, yeah, I got 100 shoes. But like,
right.
Okay, to each his own.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, at some point, we got to get to, like, what is the bare necessities of what we need? And then once we have those, how can we help the person to the left or right to achieve that goal?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's exercising one of the fruits of the spirit, which is self-control. And a lot of people don't have that.
For real.
I mean, in any aspect of life, it doesn't have to be 100 shoes.
Yeah.
It could be, infidelity. It could be gluttony. It could be, slothfulness, being lazy. You know what I'm saying? You don't have self-control to get up and go grind and work your business. You know what I'm saying? Or to actually, be successful in your business. Oh, the entrepreneurship, to say for me, no, that's for you.
Yeah.
But you're not willing to make XYZ sacrifices to make that happen.
Yep.
You're not ready to get rid of your creature comforts.
Yep.
To make that happen. I mean, man, I was very fortunate. Like I said, I grew up small town country. You know what I'm saying? Great values there to learn. I outgrew the place. I knew I had to get away.
Yeah.
For opportunity's sake, to grow and to experience. Because sometimes, in order to get somewhere, you got to see it first. You know what I'm saying? Not only just in your mind, but sometimes it's good to experience it.
Yep.
You want to be wealthy, you get around the wealthy. You want to grow around with the big fish, you got to get in the big tank.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, I'm grateful for all my lessons I learned there, but I knew I had to grow and move. And with that, that came some growth and some different responsibilities I had to get through. Crazy life. I got here, doing different things. I've walked through addiction, walked through homelessness, walked through some of that stuff as a single man and with a family. You know what I'm saying? Overcoming all those things.
Yeah.
Growing, turning that into a business.
Yeah.
Becoming an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? Creating a legacy for my children's children. And being able to stand up and say, okay, this is what my purpose is. Let me step back into my purpose and be who I'm called to be. What did I come down here for? I didn't come down here to be an addict. I didn't come down here to be homeless. You know what I'm saying? I went through some of that back home. So why come here and do the same thing? Why bring that with me?
Yeah.
I used to tell people I left that small mindset, but it didn't leave me.
Yep.
I just brought it with me. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, when you look at all those things, and then I look at my life today, and I look at all the different things I got going, I look at, I'm grateful for. I don't take any of it for granted.
Yeah.
Because I know in the blink of an eye, I could have quickly been, be right back in some of those similar situations.
Yeah.
Or have nothing. So you got to really be, you got to be wise in what you're doing. You got to have some understanding of what you're doing. But most importantly, man, self-control.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mad key.
Yeah. I mean, it's and self-control is really just nothing but discipline. Right? Disciplining your mind.
That practice of that self-control.
And it's like, and then even in the discipline, understand that like something could happen to you to where you might fall off for a second, right? But it's like having the mindset of getting back. Like I lost a cousin that was dear to me, right? So I've been like eating Almond Joys like every day.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like that little. It's like I know, like, hey, I need to lock back in on my diet, but it's like, yo, I'm not gonna run from the emotion of losing someone so close to me, but I also know, like, hey, I'm not gonna sit here and just start eating a whole bunch of crappy food because I'm in this space.
Right.
Like, you got to be able to like not beat yourself up. Like, okay, it's all right. You're grieving. You're in this space. Acknowledge it so that now you know it's there, and you can get around people that's gonna be like, I understand, right? And kind of even hold you accountable. Like, yo, you need to stop. Okay, it's cool. You had one. That's cool, but like 6 packs. I'm not saying that I had 6 packs for sure.
Okay.
Just thinking.
Oh, you're in trouble later.
But it's like, you can get to that point, right? Because I mean, honestly, like, anybody, and I'm glad to even hear that you've been able to pull yourself out of an addiction, right? That's like some people don't. Some people succumb to it. So like it's dope that you're still standing, and it's like but a part of it is like your knowledge, like I got a problem, right? And most of those things come from different stressors in your life. And it's key having people around you because, like, honestly, as an entrepreneur, it's starting to get stressful.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because it's like, like, I mean, I was talking to someone that's like, yeah, my Q1, I hope everything goes well and it's going well. And I was like, man, everything's been delayed in my Q1. Yeah. Everything that I came running through 2023 to hit has been like, yeah, we're not going to do it until like March, April. And I'm like, Lord, like, and it's like, but it's a part of the entrepreneur space. It's like that. It's a sacrifice. It's, again, as an employee, you got to just hit these benchmarks. You're going to get a guaranteed check. As an entrepreneur, it's not quite like that. For me, it's more fulfilling being an entrepreneur, right? I mean, to a degree, I enjoy the stress of it.
Right. And I mean, it's better to bet on yourself.
It's productive stress, yep.
Yeah, but it's better, and it's better to bet on yourself. And just touching on the subject, like when you're living on purpose and you're driven by purpose, when those things come around, even if you fall off the bandwagon for a minute, your inner self, because you're driven by your purpose and you're living that out, and that's consistently walked through. Even if you fall off, it's gonna pull you back. Yeah. You're like, man, I can't do this. Let's go. Yeah. I sat down. It's time to get up. Let's go. Yeah. You're gonna pull yourself. You're gonna autocorrect. You're gonna self-correct. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna drift off or stay drifted off because you're tapped into your purpose, right? Yeah. Tapped in, right? Yeah. So like, purpose is like very, very key to your life, and like even overcoming addiction, for me, my wife gave me purpose. It was like, okay, look, I met you doing all, I met you like this. If you can stay this way, and that's cool, but we just can't work. So my purpose was her and my girls at that time, you know what I'm saying? And that was my wake-up call, like, yo, you tripping, bro. Let's get together. You know what I'm saying? Like, because without that, I don't know, bro. I tell her that all the time. I may not be here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I might be that other sad case who had so much potential. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But just fell off. And so now, I mean, like, even that's been many years ago, I still think about it to this day, and like that keeps me pushing. Yeah. As hard as I go, as much as I work, as much as I grind, it keeps me pushing because it's like, okay, if it had not been, and I know she's not the Lord, but, you know what I'm saying? But if it had not been for that moment, where would I be today? Yeah. And had I took the other route, would I even, still be alive? Or sleeping under one of these bridges in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? Somewhere like that. I could have very well been there. Especially with the way the world is and how quick, check to check is. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And, like, even say, like, and without the Lord by my side, where would I be? The Lord placed her there because he knew what you needed at the time that you needed. I think if a lot of these people that are in this dating space were to date for purpose, not a dollar amount, not for sex, because all that stuff comes and goes, right? But for purpose, you'll find so much fulfillment in marriage. Oh, yeah. right? You'll find like, and it helps you get through the tough days, right? Like I just think about some of the options that I had before I got married, and it's like you have to go through you go through like, all right, this, and it's like, well, which one is purpose, right? Which, and it changes in the season, right? Because then you start tacking on kids, so now the kids become the purpose as to why you come home, and it's like, and if people understood the value, like we did episode last year, or we started talking about marriage and family, and talking about the sacredness of marriage, right? And people be like, well, what is it that men get? It's like, it's nothing tangible that men get by being married. What it does is it holds us accountable. It gives us purpose, right? And I forget the other thing that and it matures us, right? Because you can no longer be no longer be self-centered.
Right. You can be.
You can be.
I won.
You can be.
Sorry, baby.
But it doesn't work.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
And it's like, and once you just understand, like, when you get married as a husband, you become a living sacrifice. Right. Absolutely. You literally, to them, and the fulfillment for you is when your kids grow up and they become successful humans, not necessarily rich, but successful. Right. They're able to take care of themselves. They have a family. They're able to take care of that, and then you get to continue to grow with your wife. Right. That's like the other part of this thing. Right. That's, I mean, if you even want to talk about bartering with your spouse, right? Like, if you go into business, it's like, hey, you're good at this whole management piece of the paperwork, right? You're more analytical. You can do that. Cool. I need you to handle that while I go out and do this. Right. Now you're bartering with each other. It gives you an opportunity to work with each other, and it gives you a chance to build each other's strengths out. Right.
I mean, it's relational, right?
Yep.
And I mean, shoot, man, my wife did that too. All of my front office stuff, my website. If you see the one I did versus what she did, you're like, yeah, bro, I'm glad you went with that. I mean, I think about my first business card. I'm thinking, I'm feeling really good about myself. I built this ugly business card, and I'm like, yeah, it's cool, right? I'm gonna help you with that, So worked on it, worked with some people, got a dope logo. I love my logo, and she even jazzed it up some, and got it going, and everything looks totally better.
Yeah.
Like stuff she did over a decade ago is still working.
Yeah.
Right now, you know what I'm saying? The system she's put in place still working right now, bringing in money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you have to be willing to work with other strength that is on your team. Yep. Can't do it all. Yep. And as far as being a man, a father, it's not necessarily you become a living sacrifice more than is you're choosing to lay these things aside. The Bible says, love like Christ loved the church, right? But what did Christ do? He laid down his life,
right? He was
willingly, freely.
Sacrifice.
Well, yeah, but
no, I'm just messing with you.
But
I got you.
The point of what I'm saying is it's a choice, because like when people hear sacrifice, it's like, I'm giving up this. I got to give up this. I got to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's deemed. Well, I guess I'm trying to speak on the point of view.
Yeah, that's because most people don't understand that sacrifice is really for the betterment of you anyways.
Sure, absolutely.
Right? I sacrificed, somebody said you got high blood pressure. All right, cool. Well, you got to sacrifice eating fried chicken. You might like it, but it's for the betterment of your health. Like, when you sacrifice something, it's for the betterment, and because most people are looking for self-fulfillment opposed to just literal fulfillment, that's the problem, right? So it's like people don't understand that the sacrifice, you got to give this up, but you're giving this up so you can obtain something that's greater than whatever it is you think that you're giving up.
Right.
Because typically when you do that transaction with God,
I was just going to say, men, we're more willing to sacrifice some things because we have a vision to see beyond what we feeling now or what's going on or whatever it may be, but we tend to, have the will or wherewithal, the vision, to almost to where it may not even seem like sacrifice, but it is sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? But the vision's so strong, the mission, the purpose is so strong that it's like man, you gonna do that? You gonna go and work that extra hour, or you gonna do that extra? And we just like, hey, gotta do what we gotta do because boom, boom, boom. Yeah. So let's go. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah. So and when a man's in his man, he's purpose driven, and he gonna be. You can't stop him.
That's like when I built my first barbecue pit, right? I didn't have all this $20,000 to go buy these bells and whistles barbecue pits that they're building out that you see. And once again, being resourceful from the country, we used to build these barbecue pits anyway. And so I never forget, I was bringing all the stuff home, right? I'm collecting, getting as I can because I got a vision. I'm gonna get this barbecue business up. You know what I'm saying? I got the catering started. I'm gonna get this barbecue rolling too. And it was like I was getting piece after piece. I'm bringing all this stuff home. Anyway, setting it up in the backyard. My wife was like, "What are you doing with all this stuff?" I'm like, "Baby, that's gonna be my barbecue." What? What are you talking? So anyway, I got everything together. And then one day, it was my off day. I took my little tent out front to the garage. In front of the garage, started pulling it all out, piecing it together. Taking C-clamps, holding things that need to be get together.
Yeah.
And got the vision, got the picture of what it's supposed to look like. It still, didn't quite look as clean, but I knew what I wanted.
Yeah.
And I built it out right then, and then I took it to the guy that could weld it together like I wanted it, share my vision with him. And I got it back. She was like, "Oh, okay, I see now." I'm like, "Yeah." That. She was like, "I couldn't see it before."
Yeah.
Because I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
And so, it's just like what you speak on with sacrifice or being in their families. When you're willing to see something through, that determination, you don't care what you go through.
Yep.
You won't care.
Right.
Yep.
I walk across hot coals, but if I'm gonna get you to safety, that's what I do.
100%.
I'll worry about the rest later.
And you're looked at as crazy, insane when you can see something that nobody else sees.
Yep.
And your actions is guided by that. Like, wow, he just keeps on. Like, I don't understand why I can't, but he just keeps, and then they'll eventually see it. Until it's that holding to that power of the vision, like you said, that eagle eye view of life and things versus like being on the ground and only looking at where your feet is at and everything. But he told Abraham you can have pretty much as far as you can see.
Right.
Your vision as far as you can see.
That's good.
If it's only at where your feet is, hey, you got that. Hey, if it's miles away, he based it upon his vision.
Same as with the woman with the oil. The prophet told her, "Go collect jars. The oil won't stop. The oil didn't stop till she ran out of jars. So imagine she collected
capacity.
More. Yeah, imagine she collected more. Imagine she told her sons, "Hey, just keep running, finding jars."
Right. Look, whatever you do, don't stop. You feel me? Start the whole business of finding jars. You feel me? The handle, the overflow.
So with that, we're gonna take an offering. We're gonna put the
we're gonna have a little.
We're gonna have a
run
little
across.
You can find us on Cash App at. But no, man, great. I think that was probably the best way to end it.
Yeah.
Right. Best way to end it. Oh man, again, we appreciate you coming through, spending this time with us, sharing some golden nuggets. I know that somebody had to get something from this episode and the last episode. So man, we greatly appreciate it. Again, I'm gonna ask you to look into the camera, let them know again where they can find you, and yeah.
Man, you can find me anywhere on social media at the 6 Foot Cook. That's THE, the number 6. F is in Frank, T is in Tom, COOK. You can check us out on our website at www.bookthesixfootcook.com, or you can also check us out on YouTube. We're sharing recipes, having fun commentary and comment as well at the 6 Foot Cook Radio. So I look forward to seeing you somewhere. And if you want to use our services, I look forward to booking your next event.
That's what's up. So, awesome. Yeah, man. So, yeah, we definitely appreciate you coming through. We'll definitely have you back, too, man.
Yeah, it's the first time. We're not going to let it be the last time.
Look, we're going to have to do, like, a live cooking show.
Hey, I got
like,
you.
Come through.
I got you.
That might be something else to do.
That's a great idea.
We'd love to do it.
So, yeah, man, appreciate it.
Do something. I got to do something healthy, though. I'm working with course, so it got to be healthy.
Not too overindulgent.
Right.
It can't be my fried cheesecake.
Right. All right. Look, I'm about to go ahead and flip fried cheesecake. That sounds so good right about now. Right about now. But, guys, I hope you guys had fun, enjoyed this. We enjoyed ourselves having this conversation. Helping you understand like the importance of bartering, and then also understanding like what purpose. Like the thing that I really got from him is when you're in your purpose, it helps give you meaning to where you can pull yourself out of whatever may be bothering you, whatever trial, whatever you're going through. That purpose is the thing that you could lock in on and be able to thrive in it if you just stay focused. So, bro, is there you got the last word before we?
I don't have any incredible last words or anything like that, but no, it's just like the 6 Foot Cook that he's referring to. Like, it's about your energy. It's about who you are. It's about the difference of what you bring to the game that pretty much makes you who you are and determines how far you go and what level of success that you can, achieve, in entrepreneurship and really anything in life, really, you know what I'm saying? He definitely is a great example of staying on who you are to your brand and going forth with that and never letting up on that and being led by a vision and a purpose, and that's what you definitely got to have. In just now and always really is a very strong, impeccable vision and a real purpose if you want to start any journey that can be measured from here to there, you feel me? So, I just encourage y'all to keep going after your dreams, going after the best version of yourself, and just going, going about it in a graceful way, not having to do it like the world is rushing you to do it or amount to any type of status symbol or quota or whatever it is, but just staying in your lane and going 100% on who you are and trusting God the whole way.
Now, guys, you did hear him say.
I knew he was gonna say that.
He had nothing dope to say.
That's all I got.
I like how the 6 Foot Cook just wrapped up what this podcast is about, is being your authentic self while striving for purpose. So until next time, actually before we do that, hit the subscribe button down there. Hit that. I know you enjoyed this. Just do us a favor. Hit it. Hit the like button. Go ahead and comment. Right. Yeah. If it sucked, let us know. Right, and we'll work to make it better. We can take it. But yeah, do it so that we can get an algorithm so that people can get this great content, and then make sure you go check out his platform as well. So next time, it's your boy Zay.
And it's your boy Rashad.
And this is the Wrong Purpose Podcast.
Keep tapping in.
Tapping. Tap into your purpose. Tapping. Check it out. They act as if we see, no hear, no speak, no evil. They act as if we see, no hear, no speak, no evil. We tapping into